Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Sarah Thornton, a solicitor. Her specialist subject is the Chocolat novels of Joanne Harris. Sean Hohi, who's retired. His subject is the footballer George Best. Katie Marchant, a student who will be answering questions on the ancient Athenian statesman Alcibiades, and Ian Cumming, a council worker. His subject, the Rolling Stones. Like prize fighters, they've entered the ring, honed and tuned for the battle ahead. Just like Rocky Balboa, the training has been long and arduous, early mornings, late nights, going through their paces for a crack at the top prize. This magnificent Mastermind glass bowl and the right to call yourself a Mastermind champion. Which one of our quizzes tonight will make it through to the semi-finals? We'll find out after 2 minutes on a specialist subject and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Ding, ding, round one. Can I ask our first contender to join us, please? Your name?
Sarah Thornton.
Your occupation?
Solicitor.
And your specialist subject?
The Chocolat novels of Joanne Harris.
Yes, the book set mainly in the fictional French village of Losquenay-sous-Tannes, about Vianne Rocher, a single mother whose skills as a chocolatier have magical undertones. In 2 minutes, let's go. What's the name of the parish priest or curé at Saint Jerome's church in Losquenay, who initially tries to drive Vianne Rocher out of the village?
Francis Reynaud.
Yes. What disparaging nickname do Armand Voisin and Joséphine Muscat both use to describe the members of the congregation who hang on Father Renaud's every word?
Bible groupies.
Yes. What was the name of the old man who ran the bakery that Vianne turns into her chocolaterie, La Céleste Praline, when she first arrives in Losquenay?
Blaireau.
Yes, in Peaches for Monsieur le Curé, the group of Muslim settlers who've made Losquenay their home are most commonly known by what collective name referring to their North African origin?
Maghrébin.
Yes, in the Lollipop Shoes. What's the name of the Parisian port where Michel Roux moors his houseboat, which later becomes home to Vianne and her daughters?
Port de l'Arsenal.
Yes, Armand Voisin gives her grandson Luc a book of poems by which French author, which they read together while his disapproving mother is at the hairdresser's?
Rimbaud.
Yes, what's the name of the school in Paris where Vianne's elder daughter Anouk is subjected to ridicule before she uses her magical powers to punish the ringleaders?
The Lycée Jules Renard.
Yes, what name does the mysterious newcomer Morgan Dubois give to the tattoo parlor which she opens in Losquenay in the former florist shop?
Les Illuminés.
Yes, what's the name of the wind with its white and black variations that's known as le vent des fous, or the mad wind when it rampages through Losquenay like a gang of delinquents?
The Automne.
Yes. What name is given to the serpent symbol that Morgan Dubois has tattooed on Michel Roux's chest, described as having a kind of playful ferocity like that of a puppy biting its tail?
The Ouroboros.
Yes, in which tiny village on the Loire are Vianne and her daughters staying when a freak tornado is unleashed, which kills Père Leblanc?
Les Laveuses.
Yes, what confections does Vianne several times describe as her own favourite chocolates, especially the kind made with the finest 70% couverture?
Mondion.
It is Mondion. So, Sarah, you had no passes, and you've got 12 points. And our next contender, please. Your name?
Sean Hohi.
Your occupation?
Retired.
And your specialist subject?
George Best.
The footballer from Northern Ireland whose extraordinary talent and extravagant lifestyle made him a household name in the 1960s and 70s. In 2 minutes, let's go. In 1970, George Best scored 6 goals for Manchester United in an FA Cup match against which 4th Division side?
Northampton Town.
Yes, what was the name of Man United's chief scout in Northern Ireland who realised the extent of Best's talent during a game for Craiga Boys Club in 1961 and supposedly telegrammed Matt Busby with the message, "I think I've found you a genius"?
Bob Bishop.
Yes, the 17-year-old Best made his league debut for Man United against West Bromwich Albion in 1963, after which Scottish winger injured his knee in training?
Ian Moore.
Yes, an important influence on Best during his early years in Manchester was his landlady, Mary Fullaway, with whom he boarded at her house in which cul-de-sac in Chorlton?
Cliff Avenue.
Yes, Best was sent off for punching Jose Hugo Medina in the second leg of Man United's 1968 World Club Championship tie against which Argentinian team?
Estudiantes.
Yes, what name did Best give to the modern architect-designed house in Bramall, which he moved into in 1970?
Que sera.
Yes, on the 2nd of October 1971, Best scored one of his most memorable solo goals, beating 3 opposition defenders before clipping the ball past the goalkeeper in a 2-0 victory against which team?
Sheffield Wednesday.
No, Sheffield United. What was the name of the hotel in Whalley Range, nicknamed the Biz or Phyllis, which became a regular drinking haunt for Best in the mid-1960s?
Pass.
Which manager recalled Best to the Northern Ireland team in October 1976 after an absence of almost 3 years for a match against the Netherlands in Rotterdam that finished in a 2-2 draw?
Danny Blanchflower.
Yes, a well-known anecdote frequently repeated by Best himself features a waiter asking him, where did it all go wrong? After delivering champagne to a cash-strewn hotel room that he was sharing with which former Miss World?
Mary Stavan.
Yes, Best's erratic form for Man United improved after Matt Busby took charge of the first team again in December 1970, following the sacking of which manager?
Wolf McGuinness.
Yes, which Celtic fullback played opposite Best in the first half of Scotland's... I've started, so I'll finish. In the first half of Scotland's defeat against Northern Ireland in 1967, and later recalled that I couldn't get near him. It was like trying to catch the wind.
Tommy Gemmell.
It was Tommy Gemmell. So, Sean, you had just the one passer. The name of the hotel in Whalley Range, nicknamed the Biz or Phyllis, it was Clifton Grange. And at the end of that round, Sean, you've got 10 points. And our next contender, please. Your name.
Katie Marchant.
Your occupation.
Student.
And your specialist subject.
Alcibiades.
Yes, the 5th century BC Athenian general and politician who was one of the main protagonists in the Peloponnesian War. In 2 minutes, let's go. After the death of his father, Cleinias in battle, Alcibiades was raised as the joint ward of Arifron. And which politician?
Pericles.
Yes, in his biography of Alcibiades, Plutarch wrote that Alcibiades had a shield made for himself out of gold that depicted which god armed with a thunderbolt?
Eros.
Yes, how many talents did Alcibiades receive as the dowry from his marriage to Hipparete? An amount he claimed he was due again from her family after the birth of their first son.
10.
Yes, Alcibiades joined the Athenian cavalry and fought against which region in the Battle of Delium in 424 BC, where he saved the life of Socrates when the army was ambushed?
Sparta.
No, Boeotia. Around 420 BC, Alcibiades successfully convinced the Athenian assembly to form an alliance with which city, along with Elis and Mantinea?
Argos.
Yes, which politician was appointed to serve alongside Alcibiades as one of the 3 generals for the Sicilian expedition of 415 BC, despite arguing against the campaign?
Nicias.
Yes, Alcibiades was recalled from Sicily to be tried for profaning the Eleusinian mysteries, but en route back to Athens, he escaped his escort at which city and was then condemned to death in his absence?
Thurii.
Yes, what was the name of the child whom Alcibiades allegedly fathered with the wife of King Agis after Alcibiades had defected to Sparta?
Leotychides.
Yes, which Spartan official with whom he had family links did Alcibiades use to persuade the Spartans to pursue a naval voyage to the island of Chios?
Endios.
Yes, what was the name of the Persian royal governor or satrap who became friendly with Alcibiades after the latter sought sanctuary in Persia and who renamed a favorite garden after him, the paradise of Alcibiades?
Tissaphernes.
Yes, Alcibiades fled to Thrace following the defeat at Notium, which was blamed on Alcibiades' decision to leave which inexperienced friend in charge of the Athenian fleet?
Antiochus.
Yes, which Roman emperor erected a statue on Alcibiades' tomb in the Persian town of Melissa, where he'd been killed in 404 BC?
Hadrian.
Yes, what was the name of the slave? I've started, so I'll finish. What was the name of the slave who told the Athenian assembly that he'd witnessed Alcibiades perform a parody of the sacred Eleusinian mysteries?
Andromachus.
It is Andromachus. And Katie, at the end of that round, you've got 12 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. Your name.
Ian Cumming.
Your occupation.
Council worker.
And your specialist subject.
The Rolling Stones.
The hugely successful British rock group. In 2 minutes, Let's go. Which song, written by Bobby and Shirley Womack and also recorded by the Valentinos, became the Rolling Stones' first UK #1 single in July 1964?
The Last Time.
No, it's all over now. Who was the record producer on such critically acclaimed albums as Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street, and played the distinctive cowbell on Honky Tonk Women?
Jimmy Miller.
Yes. In which country did the band play a free open-air concert in March 2016, just days after President Barack Obama had made a historic visit there?
Brazil.
No, it was Cuba. What animal, with a guitar and drums hanging from its neck, is pictured alongside Charlie Watts on the cover of the 1970 live album Get Your Yayas Out?
Donkey.
Yes. What was the pseudonym used early in the band's career for the songwriting credits on tracks such as Stoned and Play With Fire, where all members had contributed to the writing?
Nankerveld.
Yes. What's the name of the graphic designer who produced the cover artwork for albums including Some Girls, Emotional Rescue and Tattoo You, for which he won a Grammy Award?
John Pash.
No, Peter Corriston. Which song from the 1986 album Dirty Work features a guest appearance by the former Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page, although when it was released as a single, it reached only as far as number 80 in the UK chart?
Pass.
Which New York theatre is the venue for the 2008 Martin Scorsese documentary Shine a Light, which was filmed during the band's A Bigger Bang tour?
Madison Gardens.
No, Beacon Theatre, who sang the lead female vocal on Gimme Shelter, the opening track on the 1969 album Let It Bleed?
Pass.
Which song was the band performing at a concert in Hampton, Virginia in December 1981 when Keith Richards wielded his guitar to defend himself and Mick Jagger from a stage invader?
Paint It Black.
No, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. The Rolling Stones became the first band to have a UK #1 album in 6 different decades when which one of their previous albums was re-released and topped the chart in September 2020?
Exile on Main Street.
No, it's Goat's Head Soup. So, Ian, at the end of that round, you had 2 passes. It was Mary Clayton who sang the female vocal on Gimme Shelter, and Jimmy Page plays on the track One Hit from the album Dirty Work. And at the end of that round, you've got 3 points.
Thank you.
And at the end of the specialist subjects round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 3 points, it's Ian. In 3rd place with 10 points, it's Sean. And in joint 1st place with 12 points each, it's Sarah and Katie. So now the general knowledge round. And if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account. And the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, then it's a tie break. So let's ask Ian to join us again, please. So, Ian, you start with 3 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. What small metric unit of volume is abbreviated to the letters ML, both in lowercase?
Milliliter.
Yes, fictional characters called Fleur Delacour, Bellatrix Lestrange and Remus Lupin were created by which British author?
Pass.
In human anatomy, the roof of the mouth consists of 2 parts known as the hard and soft what?
Palate.
Yes. Which large species of eagle, native to the Americas, is named after a ferocious creature from Greek mythology, which is part woman and part bird?
Harpy.
Yes. What's the name of the foul-mouthed toy bear, who was the title character of a 2012 film and its 2015 sequel, both starring Mark Wahlberg?
Ted.
Yes. The Portuguese-speaking island country in the Gulf of Guinea, off the western coast of Central Africa, is called Sao Tome and what?
Pass.
The 2023 television documentary series Wild Isles about the natural world of Britain and Ireland was presented by which broadcaster and naturalist?
David Attenborough.
Yes. What was the name of Adolf Hitler's wife, whom he married in 1945 in the Chancellery bunker?
Eva Braun.
Yes. In the title of the album that knocked the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from the #1 spot in the UK chart in the 1960s, the name of which Irish television presenter and singer precedes the words "Rocks But Gently"?
Val Hunican.
Yes, the green-coloured gemstone malachite is a carbonate hydroxide of which metal?
Aluminium.
No, copper. The naval attack on Cadiz by Sir Francis Drake in 1587, when his fleet destroyed numerous Spanish ships destined for an invasion of England, has become known as the singeing of the King of Spain's what?
Beard.
Yes, the alcoholic syrup, creme de cassis, is made from which fruit?
Blackcurrant.
Yes. What four-letter name for an item of furniture sometimes known as a settee or a couch is derived from an Arabic word for a bench or seat?
Sofa.
Yes, the octagonal central hall at the Palace of Westminster, which is used by members of the Lords and the Commons as a meeting place, is usually known as the Central what?
Pass.
At the 2015 and 2019 FIFA Women's World Cups, which footballer captained the England team?
Pass.
The theatre, opened in 1990 as the West Yorkshire Playhouse, changed its name in 2018 to reflect its location in which city?
Leeds.
Yes, which Russian-born science fiction author wrote the 1976 short story, The Bicentennial Man, about a robot's quest to become human?
Isaac Asimov.
It was Isaac Asimov. Ian, you had 4 passes. Steph Houghton was the footballer who captained the England team at the 2015 and 2019 World Cups. The Central Hall in the Palace of Westminster is referred to as the Central Lobby. The Portuguese-speaking island country in the Gulf of Guinea off the western coast of Central Africa is called Sao Tome and Principe. And J.K. Rowling created the characters Fleur Delacour, Bellatrix, Lestrange and Remus Lupin. And at the end of that round, Ian, you've got 15 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's Sean. Sean, you start with 10 points. The score to beat, as it stands, is 15 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The television drama series The Bill, New Tricks and Waking the Dead are primarily about which of the emergency services?
Police force.
Yes, the name of what type of leather, often used to make jackets and gloves, comes from the French word for Sweden.
Suede.
Yes, in the 2014 film Grace of Monaco, which American-Australian actress stars as the title character Grace Kelly?
Portman.
No, Nicole Kidman. What subatomic particle present in the nucleus of an atom has a positive charge equal in magnitude to the negative charge of an electron?
Proton.
Yes, in netball, the only 2 players who can score are the goal shooter and which other position?
Goal attack.
Yes, what first name was given to the western lowland gorilla, who was a major attraction at London Zoo from 1947 until his death in 1978?
Guy.
Yes, in Chinese and other Asian cuisines, congee is a type of porridge most commonly made with what cereal grain?
Rice.
Yes, which Oscar-nominated Scottish composer wrote the music for the ceremonial march that marked the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla?
Pass.
What was the surname of the comic novelist born in Guildford in 1881 who had the forenames Pelham Grenville and was given the nickname Plum in his childhood?
Woodhouse.
Yes, which Conservative politician who stood in the party leadership election of 2022 was appointed as Minister for Women and Equalities later that year and as Secretary of State for the Department for Business and Trade in 2023?
Kemi Badenoch.
Yes, the headquarters of the World Health Organization are in which city in Switzerland?
Geneva.
Yes, the plays of which British dramatist born Thomas Straussler in what was then Czechoslovakia in 1937 include travesties, Arcadia and a trilogy entitled The Coast of Utopia?
Man.
No, Tom Stoppard. What name derived from Latin words for 3 and tooth is shared by a class of submarine, launched ballistic missile and a type of 3-pronged spear?
Trident.
Yes, what chart-topping Irish group was formed in the 1990s, 2 members being the twin sisters Idel and Kivi Lynch?
Pass.
What word meaning physical strength is also the name of a dish of jellied meat from the head of a pig or other animal?
Brawn.
Yes, the popular board game launched in 1973, in which the aim is for players to break out of a German prisoner of war camp is called Escape from where?
Colditz.
Yes, what girl's name is the usual term for a female ferret?
Alice.
No, it's Jill. Anyway, Sean, you had 2 passes. The chart-topping Irish group formed in the 1990s, 2 members being twin sisters Bewitched. And Patrick Doyle is the composer who wrote the music for the ceremonial march marking the coronation of King Charles III. And at the end of that round, Sean, you've got 22 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's Sarah. Sarah, you start with 12 points. The score to beat as it stands is 22 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. What three-letter word for a small insect can also be used to refer to a fault or mistake in a computer program?
Bug.
Yes, what reggae pop group formed in Birmingham in 1978 with the brothers Robin and Ali Campbell in its original lineup named themselves after an unemployment benefit claim form?
UB40.
Yes, the Astros baseball team who in 2022 beat the Philadelphia Phillies to win their second World Series in 5 years is based in which city in Texas?
Austin.
No, Houston. What 1875 opera by Bizet is based on a novella by the French writer Prosper Mérimée about the relationship between a factory worker and a Spanish soldier named Don Jose?
Carmen.
Yes, what reptilian creature is the title character of the 2019 film subtitled King of the Monsters, starring Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown?
Alligator.
No, Godzilla. The Scottish island of Benbecula in the Outer Hebrides lies between two larger islands called North and South. What?
Highland.
No, Uist. What name is shared by the basic units of currency of Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania and Uganda?
Pass.
The mineral pentlandite is the main ore of which metal?
Copper.
No, nickel. What term for a person who contributes least to a team is the title of a television quiz show, first shown in 2000 and originally hosted by Anne Robinson?
Weakest link.
Yes, what was the name of the Methodist minister born in Nottingham in 1829 who was the founder of the Salvation Army?
John Wesley.
No, William Booth. What music-related term is commonly used for the lower leg of a cooked chicken?
Drumstick.
Yes, what 1678 work by John Bunyan opens with the line, "As I walked through the wilderness of this world"?
Pilgrim's Progress.
Yes, what term, partly derived from the Greek word for life, was coined in the late 1950s by an American doctor named Jack E. Steele and has come to mean the use of artificial, mechanical body parts in humans?
Prosthetics.
No, bionics. Which Northern European country joined the NATO Security Alliance in April 2023, becoming the 31st member?
Finland.
Yes, in Latin America, a fiesta de quinceañera is a birthday celebration for a girl who has reached what age?
15.
Yes, the 1973 US Supreme Court ruling that legalized abortion in America is known as Roe versus whom?
Wade.
Yes, which UK national park is known in Welsh as Eryri?
Snowdonia.
Yes, what 1982 comedy play? I've started so I'll finish. What 1982 comedy play by Michael Frayn is about a touring theatre company's production of a fictional farce entitled Nothing On?
Noises off.
It is. Noise is off. Sarah, you've got just a one pass. The name shared by the basic units of currency of Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania and Uganda, it's a shilling. And at the end of that round, you've got 23 points. And finally, let's have Katie again, please. So, Katie, you start with 12 points. The score to beat to get through to the semi-finals is Sarah's 23 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. Rojo is the Spanish word for what primary colour?
Red.
Yes, the American actress and model Riley Keough is the granddaughter of which famous rock and roll singer who died in 1977?
Elvis.
Yes, which major European river flows through the German cities of Bonn, Dusseldorf and Duisburg?
The Rhine.
Yes, in the 1960s television series Flipper, about the adventures of a family in Florida and their pet, the title character was a specimen of what aquatic mammal?
Dolphin.
Yes, in 2022, Steve Borthwick succeeded Eddie Jones as the head coach of the rugby union team of which one of the home nations in the UK?
Wales.
No, England. What name is given to the series of launch vehicles developed by the European Space Agency and first used in December 1979?
Astra.
No, Ariane. The lyrics of the song Over the Rainbow, written in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, refer to what birds?
Bluebirds.
Yes. What's the name of the news journalist who became one of the main presenters of Radio 4's Today programme in 2018, having previously hosted the same station's Woman's Hour for almost a decade, and then The World at One?
Manchetti.
No, Martha Carney. The Swiss water process is a method of removing what stimulant substance from coffee beans?
Kathy.
Yes, in 1960, Sirimavo Bandaranaike became the world's first elected female prime minister. What was the name of her country at the time?
Barbados.
No. Ceylon, which British singer whose UK #1 singles include Money on My Mind, Stay With Me and Too Good at Goodbyes, topped the chart again in 2022 with a song entitled Unholy, a collaboration with the German singer Kim Petras.
Sam Smith.
Yes, in a term for a person who acts as a judge for minor cases in a magistrate's court, the letters JP stand for what title?
Junior person.
No. Justice of the Peace, which British war poet who died in 1918 wrote the poem Dolce et Decorum Est?
Wilfred Owen.
Yes. Fiorenza is the Italian name for which city?
Florence.
Yes. What's the name of the multi-branched candelabrum used in Judaism at the festival of Hanukkah?
Menorah.
Yes. The collection of the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam includes the paintings The Milkmaid and Woman Reading a Letter by which 17th century Dutch artist?
Rembrandt.
No. Vermeer. What term derived from Hindi words meaning ball house is used in English for a horse riding event or competition?
Equestrian.
No. Gymkhana, the native British white-clawed species of what freshwater crustacean has been severely impacted by the introduction in the 1970s of Stanislaw Finish, introduction in the 1970s of the more aggressive American signal species?
Lobster.
No, it's crayfish. And Katie, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 22 points.
Thank you.
So let's have a look at the final scores. In fourth place with 15 points, it's Ian. In joint second place with 22 points each, it's Sean and Katie, which means in first place with 23 points, it's Sarah. She goes through to the semi-finals. Congratulations to her. If you'd like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Just come through the heat and I'm absolutely bewildered and really shocked to have got through. Noise is off.
It is. Noise is off. And at the end of that round, you've got 23 points.
I've just hit a milestone birthday and it was just time to not put things off any longer and just go for it.
In first place, it was a close run thing with 23 points. It's Sarah. She goes through to the semi-finals. Congratulations to her.
I would describe myself more as an enthusiastic amateur quizzer. This is the first thing I've ever done, but if anybody else is sitting at home thinking, yeah, I could have a go at this, then do it, because this is the first thing I've done, and it has been absolutely fantastic.